All right, everybody. Welcome into the Oval Office. I'm Cayden. That's Grant. And we've not made an episode that at least saw the public eye in a while. Uh,
Yeah.
so, full disclosure, I made a post about this. We had our Coke 600 preview ready to go pretty early last week, actually, because we filmed it because you were going out of town,
hmm
not to Chattanooga this time,
No, a little
but
bit further.
a little bit further than that. And so it was just like, okay, we'll make our 600 preview. Cool. Well, we had several segments that would not have been appropriate to post with the Kyle Busch news, talking about Hall of Fame and Greg Biffle. But also, we talked in length about Kyle Busch and his recent performance and how we were actually looking forward to seeing what the second half of the regular season held for him. Because Grant actually picked Kyle Busch to win the Coke 600.
He was my
And
dark horse pick, unfortunately.
well,
But
and you went back and forth on even just picking him outright.
yeah,
So there's no real way to edit the episode when one half of the episode is about one man, and suddenly the weekend became 100% about that one person. So we normally don't talk as much about serious things because we've not had to. Nothing has happened since we started the show after the passing of Greg Biffle. And neither of us were conscious or alive enough to um, remember Dale's passing in 2001. You were alive, I was not.
yeah.
But this is how my dad talked about it and how people I knew, teachers growing up, would talk about Dale. This is how I imagine it. And I was talking to my dad this right after it happened. And I was just like, is this, I never really liked Kyle Busch growing up. I mean, you can tell from I've got the '88 car there, Earnhardt Jr. above me, and Ross Chastain on my shirt. They had some running into each other too. But as he matured, his last few years with Joe Gibbs Racing, his time with RCR, I grew to respect the competitor he was, and he obviously was always an all-world talent. He's a top 10 driver of all time by pretty much every metric you can think of, but one of the most talented stock car racers ever. So I started to enjoy watching him more and stop thinking of him as the big bad villain, Bush. And I mean, it made racing a lot more fun because he won a lot. So you didn't have to be disappointed on Sunday, turn off the race, and be like, man, the guy I didn't want to win won. And I was looking forward to seeing him get to victory lane again in the Cup Series. And beyond just that, I mean, as a fan, I'm supremely sad. And that's not even including the human cost of, I mean, two children lost their father, a wife lost her husband, parents lost their kid. I mean, Kurt Busch lost his brother. So it's hard to talk about. But from just a fan perspective, even as a guy who I did not enjoy watching him race for a majority of his career, I cannot deny the effect losing Rowdy has on me. Of just that guy felt invincible, and suddenly you just hear, oh, he's sick, oh, he's gone. And it really makes you just kind of treasure every single moment of life with family, friends that you get because, I mean, nothing is promised to you. So, your thoughts, Grant, because I feel like I talked there for about 3 minutes with it saying a lot, but rest in peace to Rowdy.
Yeah. I mean, just off the cuff, raw. That's just how it is. I think I was just shocked because you joke all the time. I am chronically offline. I had no idea anything that was happening, and I get a phone call from one of our buddies, Brock, and I'm like, this is random. Because it was like the middle, it was earlier in the day than he would typically call me. So I answered, and he goes, "Dude, Kyle Busch just died." And I
Yeah,
thought he was like messing with me. I was like,
it's
I had
true.
just walked out of the door, about to go to the gym, locked the door, and he answered that, and I like was like, "What the heck?" Hung up, opened the door, and I just looked at McKenna. I was like, "Kyle Busch just passed away," and I was like, "She's like, what?" And like the only thing that we could think about was like, God, like she's kind of like seen more as she's been exposed to NASCAR of Samantha Bush.
Yeah,
Um, and she's like, oh, she seems like really cool. Like she had her own autograph signing when we were at the race in Atlanta.
yeah.
Um, and she was just like, holy crap, like his wife and kids, like, racing is whatever at that point. Just kind of is like, man, 41, like that's so young. So that's really, I had a love hate relationship, I would say, with Kyle Busch. There's times I really loved him, and there's times when I really hated him. But I think like you and like most kind of had grown a soft spot for him in his latter years. And I think you, like you said, I think you would have ended up in victory lane possibly this year. If it was up to me, he probably would have won the Coke 600. But um, yeah, just gone too soon. And that's, I mean, yeah, it's just
I
crazy
want
how it can be. Everything can be snatched from you just like that.
I want to tell a story real quick, and we've kind of already established talking with Nikolai that it's going to take a lot for us to ever get media passes. So I'm not worried about this. Last year, we went and took everybody, all the buddies, to Atlanta Motor Speedway. My first time going to New Atlanta. I don't know if it was your first time going to New Atlanta or not.
Not,
I
I think it
think
was
you
my
had been
second
one
time.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but everybody had pit passes and everything like that. We got a really good deal with your buddy. So we were not aware that those did not apply to the truck race and the, at the time, Xfinity race. So we were just on pit road all Saturday.
Yeah, we should,
Um,
and it was. I mean, we should not have been. It
we
was
should,
pre-race. It was pre-race only, Cup race only.
and
We were there all day.
we, but we were on pit lane. We watched Raja get wrecked at that, but then Kyle Busch dominated the rest of that race, and he showed glimpses of prime KFB towards the end of that race to come out with a victory. I think he had to endure the green white checkered there at the end, and just he made everybody else look like just an amateur by comparison. And I mean, there's some things to say about the truck series there, but I mean, Kyle Busch was not. Kyle Busch stood head and shoulders above the rest of the field that day, and just he would not be denied. So we have video of him in victory lane and him pulling up in his the seven and all that, and it's just a story that now I get to tell my future kids, and I get to tell, I guess, everybody else on the internet of we snuck onto pit road, not knowingly, not even knowing that we did sneak there. We were in victory lane with Kyle Busch um, during one of his final wins. Obviously, the winningest driver of all time across NASCAR's top three series, but we were there for one of them. And I mean, I've seen him win several times in person because I felt like he always won when I was there. But that's Rowdy for you. And I will treasure that memory. I already did, but for completely separate reasons now.
Yeah, that's. I've got a hilarious video of him. I'm like standing like where the cars drive to victory lane right there, right when they pull through, and he's just like sat way down at the bottom. His head's just looking up, and he's just posted up, no helmet, just driving through. Like, you thought anyone else was going to be pulling into this victory lane this race? Like, I own this victory lane. What are you thinking? So I sent it back to, I don't know if it was, I think I sent it either just back to him, Brock, or if I don't know if I sent it to
You sent it
everybody.
to me as well, so I
Yeah,
think it
and
was on the
I was
homepage.
like, man, this is 2 years ago. Like,
It was
yeah,
last year.
yeah, or last year. Sorry, it was
So
the last Atlanta one.
so
It was a lot
crazy.
warmer that race.
It was something. Kyle Busch passed away, and he still was on pole for the truck race. So that's up there with Dale finishing sixth after passing away.
Yeah,
So
I can't remember if it was on the broadcast or if it was on the XM radio. I don't know if you heard it, but it was hilarious. I think it was Larry McReynolds said that Kyle Busch was the only one that could run 3 wide by himself.
oh my goodness, that's so accurate.
And I was like, that is the perfect way to sum him up.
Just my goodness.
I was like, that is. I think it was during the rain delay or something for qualifying. Maybe I think that's what it was.
We had a lot of rain delays this weekend, so there's
Yeah, it was one of the rain delays on not Sunday. That's what I think it was. So,
but rest in peace to Kyle Busch. Not that we can't make a whole show out of this, but let's move on to the Coke 600. Briefly, we did do predictions for IndyCar that will now not be seen, but original pick was Rossi, swapped to Rosenquist after like 2 minutes of like reading his injuries on air. So I don't know how I looked into that, but I'll give myself a small pat on the back.
that was a good
And
call.
you had Peto Award,
I
who
think I ended up fourth.
continually will always be right there at the end of these things.
He had a great run on the last lap and just got stonewalled by Rosenquist, and I can't remember who he was running too wide
Malukas.
with. Was it Malukas?
Malukas and Armstrong right there.
Yeah, whoever he was running too wide behind, I think Armstrong, because he beat Malukas at the line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was side by side with Armstrong. So yeah, O'Ward had a great run and just ran into
Couldn't get
guys
around
running
him.
too wide in front of him and just lost all momentum. So I was hopeful, but what an ending. It was great.
The probably, or maybe not the best, one of the best Indy 500s ever.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
The rain,
thoroughly
but
enjoyed
my
it.
goodness. On another note, just to kind of speculate towards, Rosenquist doesn't have a full-time ride in IndyCar. Or at least I don't think he does.
I couldn't tell you. Could not tell you.
But I do know that the week that NASCAR goes to Indianapolis for the Brickyard 400. Brickyard 400. He is not racing that weekend. So can we get him in
Project 91?
Project 91? I mean, we can get him in the 99.
Yeah.
Like, let's get him to attempt it because that would be really cool. Just
I would
you're
love to
one
see
year
that.
for the Indy cars. Let's see what you can do in a stock car.
Yeah.
But
that'd be sick.
This is not an Indy 500 show, so I need to keep us moving. But yeah, he's very. I would love to see him actually get to drive a stock car, and yeah, he's he is full time. So I don't know where I pulled that from.
Yeah, you could have fooled me. I have no idea.
But the Coke 600 I think it was all three of the main races, Formula One, IndyCar, and NASCAR this weekend were electric.
I didn't catch any of the F1, so I'll trust you on that one. But the other two, I will concur.
All you have to know is that Mercedes is they're dominant over everybody else, but their drivers can't stand each other. So George Russell and Kimi Antonelli. Russell wrecked Antonelli in the sprint to win the sprint, and then Antonelli, after a long battle in the main race, got Russell in the grass. So, but only 5 cars finished on the lead lap because of how dominant Antonelli was.
Oh my gosh.
So there's a picture that's going to go down of like the podium was Antonelli, Verstappen, and Lewis, and they put Antonelli on their shoulders. It's like, oh, okay, I see. There's going to be a lot of championships in that picture.
Yeah.
So, but this is a NASCAR podcast. We don't call this the circuit office. It's the Tri-Oval office. So, Concord, North Carolina, home of a majority of the industry. Coke 600, probably my most anticipated race of the year. Most years, besides the Daytona 500, because you just want to get the season underway. And my goodness, the racing was fantastic. If the only thing I have to say is I just wish we could have ended under green.
Yeah.
Because I would have loved to see 39 more laps of everybody, of all the Toyotas attempting to just,
they were like sharks with blood in the
my
water.
Goodness. That one shot, I can't remember if it was at the end of stage 2, mid stage 3. I think it was into stage 2, where you have Reddick in the lead, Hamlin is in second. They're battling like pretty hard back and forth, and slowly Gibbs has creeped back up into the picture. Briscoe's there, and Bell is now reeled everybody back in, well, in fresher tires.
Mm-hmm.
And they just go to the drone shot for about 3 laps, and they're slicing and dicing, and you would not know that any of them are teammates. And oh my goodness, it was just so majestic. Prime is wonderful, and having Fox for 13 races beforehand, something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Like
Makes
12.
you appreciate Prime even more when you get it. So I thought the production was fantastic. The on-track racing was really, really good. Charlotte deserves any date we can give Charlotte, the All-Star race. I mean, in the fall, if we want to make it the finale, I'm cool with that too. Just give Charlotte all of the races. Just maybe we stick to 400 miles outside of the Coke 600 so that we can actually get every lap run. But
yeah.
What did you think of the racing?
I thought the racing was awesome as well. I was just getting a little bit annoyed because I was out of town, and I was glad it got I was able to catch it. I didn't think I'd actually be able to watch it, to be honest, but we actually ended up being back a little earlier than I thought. So I was able to kind of rapid recap kind of the beginning, just the very, very beginning, and then I was live for most of the race. And I'm shocked a Toyota did not win this race, is all I'll say. Shocked. I mean, it's obviously a stroke of partial luck and just a good call that it kind of ended how it ended. But, I mean, there was a point where it was like –
it was the top 5.
It was JGR and Reddick, and it was nobody else.
It was like
they were so fast, and they all –
the reason Bubba wasn't up there is because him and Hocevar got tangled up early in this race.
Yeah.
So – but yeah, it was just like the top 5 Toyotas are dominant. Larson is doing everything in his power to wheel his car, and his car just does not have the same stuff under the hood to keep up with these guys.
Yeah.
And like Blaney tried for a little bit, did not work. I mean, there was no one who could hang with them for very long. Well, actually, no. Besides Larson, there was one guy who could hang with the Toyotas. And he goes by Shane Van Gisbergen.
He did, dude. He was flying.
He was there the entire race.
I was so impressed. And also, I was a little bit scared.
He finished 11th, and he ran considerably better than that. He was
in the top
10.
Yeah, I was about to say, he ran like top 8.
Yeah, he ran 6th the majority of the race.
Yeah. There's a couple points where I think it was like McDowell, SVG, and then the 17 was right behind him. And I'm looking and I'm like, all right, so if we're running 8th right now, we could probably easily in the next lap to 2 laps, just given what's happening, we could probably be up to 6. We can get around these guys. He'd get right up to the 97, couldn't get around him. And I was like, SVG's driving this thing like he's been around for 20 years.
They commented that too because he took the lead in stage
Yeah,
4.
he commanded from. I mean, the way that he took off on that restart, I was extremely impressed. I was like, he's about to get eaten up.
Well, in the way he
Nope.
took off, he got what about a second lead on
Yeah,
the
it was
Toyota. Well,
well executed with him,
to be
and
fair, I
Larson
think
sacrificed
Larson,
himself.
yeah, Kyle Larson just said, "I have to have a Chevy try to win this race."
Yeah,
And but Reddick, I can't remember if it was Reddick or Hamlin because they had very similar color schemes. So just thinking back in my mind on the end of this race, anybody else, it felt like trying to fend them off was like, "Oh, this is going to be ugly." Like they're going to take SPG to school, and he was able to block
yeah,
in a way that didn't get himself wrecked.
yeah,
Because I was like, I could totally see SVG being overly aggressive, knowing rain is coming. Of just going to try to get here, fend off, be dirty, and just get shipped by Denny Hamlin into the
yeah,
wall. And he didn't. He raced well. I didn't think he was overly aggressive, trying to hold the lead. I do wish that we got the lightning delay, knowing I do selfishly, just for the memes, wish that had ended it, or we had gotten the rain shortened, had gone in a way where SVG could have gotten an oval win because
that
that
would have
would be
been
so
crazy.
funny.
That would have
Um,
been crazy.
but I mean, he still comes away with 7 stage points on an oval.
Yeah,
So very good day for the 97. Really, the only good day for any Trackhouse car. They were bad, and to add salt to the wound, the winner in the 7, Daniel Suarez. It is rain shortened. However, his crew chief was the only one who made the correct call to go for 2 tires, knowing rain was on the way. I get going into thinking it's not a smart decision because we've seen repeatedly on these style of tracks just getting absolutely swallowed up on restarts
yeah,
from no tires, 2 tires, but you're already going to run 15th, 16th. You're not going to lose a lap.
yeah,
Or most likely, you're not going to run long enough to lose a lap. So you're either going to finish where you started this thing, or right here, you just give your chance field or track position. So just doing what the leaders are doing, you're not going to go past them
yeah,
because you've shown all night you're not faster.
yeah.
So I was just shocked that Suarez was the only
Yeah, that
driver
surprised
on
me
2
too.
tires.
I was like, just given the rain, and we'd already been in a golly lightning delay. I was like, I'm shocked. Like a couple guys like that were way back in the field just didn't pit.
Which there was only like 17 cars on the lead lap, something like
Yeah,
that.
I'm surprised some of those guys didn't pit. Like if you're 15th, 16th, 17th, why would you? You could take 2 tires
Or
and not
just
pit
go
and
take
just
2
risk it. You're
tires.
not going to win the race from where you're at.
So,
So
and if you're already in 17th, that's basically the limit of your damage, unless you crash on the
yeah,
restart.
which it
But that's just kind of where you're going to be. So, why would you not give yourself the opportunity
yeah.
to?
Maybe they thought they'd get another inexplicably short lightning delay.
That
But
was,
I'm also I'm very pro having meteorologists at the track. That was
oh,
very
I am as
cool.
well.
Very cool NASCAR. We should do that more often because 30-minute lightning delays suck.
Which I get that that's like just the standard for everything, even if you have a meteorologist on site. But that saved the race because if they had waited 30 minutes,
It would have
that
rained again.
I mean, it would have started raining and actually pouring. We saw what happened. We got some entertainment out of it, at least. Even
Yeah.
though it was annoying to go 2 or 3 laps, rain, bring them down. Okay, we're going to get them going again. 2 or 3 laps, rain.
All right, we're about to go. Caution lights off. Caution lights back on. It
Two
was
or three
so.
laps. Oh my goodness, who crashed during that whole mess. There was a bad caution during. Hold up.
I don't remember, to be honest.
But shout out to Ryan Sparks for making the winning decision because no one else did that.
Yeah.
and he should be absolutely praised for winning his or putting his driver in the position to win because Daniel Suarez held off the best cars all night for
By the skin of
multiple
his teeth.
restarts. And he owes
He
Kyle
wouldn't have.
Larson.
He wouldn't have held him off much longer.
He owes Kyle Larson a steak dinner, lobster, whatever he wants, because he, without Larson just absolutely launching him on those restarts, I don't know if he would have been able to clear them even going into turn one. But
No.
he put up an absolute fight.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out who wrecked there. But
I'm trying
anyways,
to think. I cannot remember for the life of me. I was so tired. I was trying to watch it. Then when that final caution came out, I was like, I'm going to bed. I literally turned it off. As soon as I hit the off button on my phone, is when you're all like, yeah, they just called it. I was like, ah, perfect time.
the rain, and then they got back racing. It doesn't tell me why they went back racing though. That's the okay. I see. I see. There it goes. Um. Okay, so no, it was just rains for Daniel Suarez. I guess swore there was a wreck in between there, but
I can't think of one
I'm
if there
looking
was
at
one.
the summary, so I guess not. This is what we get for recording late.
Yeah.
But we're going to move on from Charlotte. We're going to move to another growing southern city, one I'd less like to live in, but Nashville, Tennessee. So we go to Nashville Superspeedway. A lot of great paint schemes this week.
Elite paint schemes.
Elite. A little bit of a different Busch scheme for Chastain. That's nice. Was going to win paint scheme review until Ryan Blaney and Ricky Stenhouse dropped way later than everybody else today. Ricky Stenhouse with the Kyle Busch tribute is just so good, and it's very funny that it's Ricky to do it first.
I think it just means more.
It does. I mean, Kyle was the one who named him Ricky Spinhouse, and I mean Ricky punched him in the face. What 2 years ago?
I think 2 or 3 years ago.
So he was the last man to punch Kyle in the face. Um, but yeah, we moved to Nashville. What's your favorite scheme this week? As I pull up fastlap.io,
The
not
90,
sponsored
the
for me.
97. It looks so good. The purple flames.
The
It's
Tootsie scheme.
it's between it's between the 97 and probably the 12.
I was gonna say I'm firmly. I like the 17. You mentioned it's the first
Yeah,
time
the
with
17
Castrol.
just hasn't had the throwback Castrol, and I think with that number, it just looks really good.
It's the double number. I think
Yeah,
really work, or not the double number, but like the one and the seven look similar, and they create the amount of space they take up is better than the single.
the 6. Yeah,
So yeah, I think I got to go Ricky Stenhouse. Just
yeah.
that scheme was really good when it ran on Bush's the bushwhacking car, and it looks really good on the next gen. So,
Yeah.
but the Cracker Barrel 400, and looking at the power rankings, based off of the composite formula that they use, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick,
What's
of
new?
course, three Toyotas, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, William Byron, Briscoe, Busher, Gibbs, Blaney are your top 10 here, thanks to
These are the
fastlap.io.
same. I feel like these are the same 10 every week.
So, who do you want to talk about first? Because I think I have a clear kind of faction I think you have to talk about, but
Dare I say, do we have to start with the Toyotas again?
they're so good everywhere we go. But the mile and a halves, they are
Dominating.
utterly dominant.
It's these three too. I feel like it's Hamlin, Bell, Reddick, or like Hamlin, Briscoe, Reddick. It's Hamlin, Reddick, and then you backfill
Someone else
that third one with
fill
either
in.
the 20 or the 19 or the 54.
I mean, even oh yeah, that's all the Toyotas. Never mind.
Yeah. I
But
mean, you could
looking at,
maybe if you're going to a drafting track, you throw the 23 in there.
yeah, I'm looking at it. They have been so good at this traditional mile and a half. Granted, Nashville's a little bit smaller. It is a concrete track as well. But if we're talking about concrete tracks, the other two concrete tracks, Hamlin won the All Star race and fended off Briscoe to do it. And then Gibbs um, won at Bristol. So
Yep.
not there's no advantage for anyone else going off concrete either. So I don't know where else you would even try to formulate an argument for anyone but Toyota being the favorite.
Rain. That's where I would formulate an argument for someone else other than Toyota. Two
They do
tires and
have,
rain.
I was gonna say, Toyota. They are so bad at strategy. It feels like
Yeah, they
as a
struggle so
whole,
bad on like super speedway. It just they just seem to not be able to execute at certain points.
and they are just so much faster than Ford is out to lunch. So
Yeah, who knows what's
discount Ford, whatever. But Chevy this year, Chevy is finding ways to win and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Toyota is gifting them wins.
yeah.
Like in races, they dominate.
Toyota should have won every race this year, to be honest.
There are very few races like
Maybe
SVG.
maybe
Yeah,
maybe Watkins Glen.
well, even then, SVG was what 27 seconds back
Yeah,
with 30 laps to go. So Ty Gibbs doesn't. He has to keep his equipment underneath him a little bit better, but I mean, that just goes to show SVG. But last week, strategy call. Chase Elliott winning at, was it Phoenix? Where did he win at?
Martinsville, wasn't it?
Martinsville. Strategy call.
Yeah,
Host of our drafty track, whatever.
yeah.
Blaney won at, was Blaney Vegas?
Phoenix. But they're just nasty at Phoenix.
They're
So
just
that's
nasty there. And they, but even then, it was Blaney versus like Hamlin and Bell and Reddick, and all of them shot themselves in the foot.
yeah. It seems like it's
So
all those guys, and then you just like pick one guy that's good at each track, and then it's like throw him in there.
looking, I have Kansas selected. I wish we were at Kansas, though I'm actually cautiously optimistic for Nashville this week.
The next little span of races we've got,
We have some potential bangers.
I'm fired up for like Michigan Pocono.
Nashville, Michigan, Pocono is
I'm
elite.
excited for that little northern swing.
And then we do San Diego after that, which can be interesting. Maybe for who's in second,
Yeah, I was about to say it's going to be interesting for probably third.
but looking here, if we go by driver rating, it is not close. Denny Hamlin with 121.8. So for an oval, that is an absolute just beat down. Ross Chastain is next, 104, 103.5. Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, 101.
Mm.
And that's in the last three races here at Nashville.
I hadn't looked at these ratings yet. 121 to 104. That's got to be one of the biggest gaps I've seen.
We're on a little bit of a thing where it's like typically like one or two drivers ahead of everybody else by a good margin. Charlotte was interesting in the fact there's like 8 or 9 drivers who separate themselves from the field,
Yeah.
but they're pretty close to each other. Denny Hamlin on an oval like this that's Nashville's a little wacky. Like I said, it's like a mile and a third and it's concrete. So it
Yeah.
is a little bit interesting. It's more of a flat banking
Yeah.
than something traditional mile and a half. But Denny Hamlin is just, you don't see this kind of disparity on an oval in the next gen era.
Yeah. I was going to ask due to the banking, I feel like the flatter ovals lean Penske. Do you think they find something? Because Blaney being at 10, just sneaking in there was intriguing to me. And I was like, maybe they'll just possibly with the track style, maybe they'll be able to find. So it just feels like you said Ford is just like Penske should be up there with the Gibbses and the, even though Hendrick's a little bit down in the Hendricks, but they're just not.
Well, in the win column, at this racetrack over the last 3 years. We have a Joey Logano win, kind of
Yep.
fluky. If you remember, that was the 17 different overtime race where he just had more fuel in his tank than anybody else, it felt like.
Yeah.
And that's what saved his season and started a fluke playoff run. So I guess if he's going to do that this year, then we'll see. We'll see Sunday.
Better pick it up now.
Ryan Blaney has a win here,
Yep.
and Ross Chastain. If I remember correctly, the Ryan Blaney win is when he, or that was last year. Okay, so never mind. And then Ross's win is 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So it does play very similar to Charlotte in terms of who is actually winning these things, but maybe not who is running the highest.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin has a running position here, and this is crazy, of 3.9.
Jeez.
An average running position, an average starting position at 3.7.
That's insane.
Despite that, he has a passer rating of plus 10.
Wow. How?
So, and he is rated negatively for his finishing position because it's like, oh, he's finishing worse than he runs, and where he starts at because he finishes an average of sixth.
Good grief.
So it really is just we go and we admire. It's become a pattern of, oh my goodness, Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin have some insane stats at this track, but it's everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those two
Yeah.
that just have an insane resume, and it's like the algorithm is just like, how in the world do these guys not win every single race?
Yeah. Just like looking at, I did not realize Chastain, because I've been looking at the power rankings, had not been looking just at the track. Chastain, do you have,
No.
what's your, what? No.
Um,
Just go ahead and nip that one in the bud. No.
Trackhouse doesn't have the power to run at a track. Well, maybe they did because they've started to recover, but the problem is it's not Ross, it's SVG.
Which is crazy.
So, looking at the forecast, because they'll qualify Saturday. So, we'll look at Nashville forecasts for this weekend. There's a decent chance that SVG, yep, Saturday is, well, in the afternoon, there's a decent chance they could get some qualifying in. And
Yeah.
then Sunday in the afternoon, we got rain. So this race could get funky again.
Yeah.
But SVG, if he qualifies well, there's nothing saying that he couldn't do what he did at Charlotte. Just not having winning speed, but having went speed to just keep up with the leaders. At every single lap he turns, he's going to get better.
Yeah.
He is just an all-world talent that's just not adjusted to ovals.
Yeah.
So watching him race on ovals is interesting. That being said, I don't think any of the Trackhouse drivers are going to be much of a factor.
Yeah. I just wanted to hear from your perspective, being a fan of Ross and him having a win here and a good driver rating if there was any hope, but it doesn't sound like there's much.
They have to qualify well, and I just
Yeah.
don't trust them to qualify very well. They've been terrible on Saturdays.
Yeah. Another
Someone I
name.
do want to talk about, though, if we're going to talk
Go
about
ahead.
Chevy team,
Yep.
I think Spire is going to continue the momentum.
You
And
think so?
I really look at Carson Hocevar. I don't know why. I mean, he's got an average. Well, actually, I do know why. His finishing position here, he has an average finish of ninth. So he has an average finishing position of ninth, and that's starting 20th in his two
What's
races.
his passer rating?
Only plus one. So maybe getting it a lot done on strategy.
Yeah.
But he started, and this is really buoyed by the fact of last year, he started 26th and finished second. He drove through the field.
Yeah.
That's why, because that was one of the images that stuck with me.
Yeah.
Is he was chasing Blaney down at the end of this, so he was on a weird alternate strategy. So keep an eye on Hocevar this weekend. He's running the Intimidante.
I could see it.
And also, it's a very for him to win at Nashville is very on brand.
That is true. It is.
He could win at any of the next 3, if we're being honest. He could go on a real roll here.
Yeah. Thoughts on the 24? We feel like we constantly see him up here every week, and then we never talk about him because he just
I wanted to talk about Byron, actually.
he just completely flies under the radar, has flown under the radar this whole year.
You know who I kind of was starting to get some real Joey Logano championship vibes from William Byron, where he's just doing nothing in the first half. He's just kind of surviving,
Coasting along.
and he's going to just find something and absolutely go on a tear. But granted, we're not in the playoff system anymore, so
yeah,
we'll see.
It doesn't feel like he's just got that, like, he doesn't feel like the kind of guy that's like a killer like that, you know?
He just doesn't have the killer instinct like that.
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. He seems like too nice of a guy.
Yeah. I just want to point this out. This is not about Nashville, but I just looked at the point standings. So Reddick, obviously, 122-point lead. Hamlin's been barely dipping into that a bit this year. But Hamlin has opened up a 52-point lead on Ryan Blaney in third. So it is very cleanly those two ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
And you see it week in, week out, where they're typically running 1-2. So do you have any feelings about RFK this weekend? It's not really one of their good tracks.
Not really. But I mean, Buescher's he averages like a 10th place finish, which where does he not average 10th place?
I was gonna say that's just Chris Buescher.
So other than that, not really. I would be happy with them boys getting top 10s. That would be. I don't expect any more than that. Top 10, top 15 is cool. Just get some stage points. Just kind of hang in there. These next 2 tracks swing very heavily towards Chris Buescher's strong suit, especially Michigan. He's gross at Michigan. So
I just have a really, really hard time because we've not gone anywhere like a Michigan or a Pocono with the long straightaways, just super fast, but not a traditional intermediate.
Yeah.
With how fast Toyota is everywhere else, and with Michigan being a very, very just horsepower, for lack of a better term, track, would be shocked if Toyota does not win.
I think Denny will win both, to be honest, but that's just me. Especially, I think he'll win Pocono too. But I also wouldn't put it past Jack Roush to pull something out of his butt in Michigan.
Just to be like, you know what, Ryan Preece, y'all screwed him on the appeals.
Put a Whipple on there, baby. We're going to work.
So just absolute.
And Ryan Preece goes by. Does anyone else hear that whining noise coming from his engine? Also, is he going 240 miles an hour?
My goodness. Do you have a pick for this weekend?
God, I hate picking so cliche. Gotta just pick a Toyota, I guess.
To be fair, it's a very cliche track.
Yeah. It feels wrong to pick anyone outside of the top 3. Like those top 3, the Hamlin, Bell, Reddick. But I'll take a flyer on Briscoe this week.
Briscoe been putting together a lot of good runs. He's just
I should have been right. I was right, but darn you, Rain. I would have had the Bell pick. He put it together.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was the right pick, and I was mad about that.
Wonderful scheme too.
It looked amazing, and I was so bad when that ring I called for. I really didn't care. I was happy for Daniel. I just was like, dang it! I really wanted to be right.
I just want to see 40 more laps of this race because this race was fantastic,
and I wanted to be right. Just wanted to be proven right. But I'll take Briscoe. It's been a while since I picked him. I feel like I picked him for the Clash.
Picked him a lot, and then
I picked him for the Clash, and I picked him for Daytona, and I was like, I need to stop this right now.
I'm with you. I think you have to pick a Toyota, and I'm going to go with your last week. I'm going to go Christopher Bell to win.
I kind of hope he wins. He deserves it. I'm telling you.
It's a matter of time for both of those guys, but Bell, I think Briscoe's faster than Bell, but Bell has slightly better execution.
Yeah.
So
It
take it that way.
depends on the track. I feel like Bell was faster.
Yeah,
Depends on where we're at.
Bell's long run speed at Charlotte. So this is another night race, but obviously back to more traditional links, 400 miles, 3 stages. So we'll see how he responds.
Yeah.
Any dark horse you want to look at?
Uh, maybe not to win, but top 10 probably Zane Smith. Like he just
You took it out of my mouth. That's
really,
exactly who I was thinking too.
yeah,
He was very good at Charlotte too.
yeah. I'll go. I like Zane, and I don't know. He ran well at Charlotte, and it feels like he just like he'll go on these spells where he'll run like at the beginning of
Way
the year.
better than
He was running so well at like every track, and then he kind of fell off for a bit, and it's like all right, here he's kind of popping his head
we're
back up
talking about
again.
guys we would like to see get a competitive ride.
Oh yeah.
Zane Smith. As long
Let
as he
Brad
can,
when Brad retires, put Zane in the six.
apparently that's not going to be for another 8 years. So,
That is true. Maybe not. Maybe Zane. I hope
but
you
he's got
find
to bring the Aaron's money with him.
the
The
dream
Aaron
machine
because
money.
his Aaron's dream machine schemes are too good to not be in victory lane.
He could have the 17 when Busher goes to JGR.
Yeah, we'll talk about the silly season rumors that we discussed last week. We'll talk about them next episode.
Yeah,
Yes, your computer's dying.
it is dying. I'm doing all right. We can keep going for another minute if we need to.
Well, I was just
I've
like,
got Chris Busher percent left. Ironically,
so how do you think Corey Heim is racing this weekend in
cool
the
scheme.
Eric Church scheme?
Yeah.
Everybody hates the scheme. They're like it's the ugliest scheme all
Oh, I
year.
think it's kind of cool.
But I like the baby blue. So
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I do think it's really
Fine.
funny though because it's for Eric Church's bar, but you would have zero clue it's Eric Church if you were not familiar with his bar being named Chiefs.
Yeah, you'd be like, what is this? Like
Yeah.
Chiefs? What does this have to
So
do? It's
I've
like
watched like multiple NASCAR content creators be like, "What in the what company is Chiefs?"
yeah.
And then look it up. It's like, oh,
This
it's
is
Eric
not the
Church.
Kansas City Chiefs logo.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah. Heim. Does he even have any history here?
he ran here last year.
Did he? I don't even remember, to be honest. Not high hopes, to be honest. I mean, I think a top 20
Corey
would be
Heim
nice.
has 2 starts at Nashville. Both were bad to forgettable. He
Yeah, I would
started
say a top
33rd
20 would
last
be
year,
nice.
finished 37th, and
Did he wreck?
started 29th, finished 29th.
Did he wreck out last year?
Um,
He might have.
I think he did. So he didn't.
I think a top 20 would be a celebration for them. I think he just needs to log more laps.
Just keep logging laps.
Yeah.
That's the name of
Because
the.
there's some times when he's out there, I'm like, man, this cat looks real good.
We've got Jesse Love and Roger Carruth as teammates in the truck race, so that'll be interesting. They're having to wear the get along shirt this week. Jesse just out to prove it. He was very vocal about wanting a full time Cup Series
Yeah,
ride.
some weird stuff going on with that.
So, and I'm not to really speculate about this because I think it's too soon to, but Austin Hill is starting again this week in the 33.
Yep.
I am very interested if that's going to be Austin's ride for the rest of the year or if they're going to let Jesse get some starts in it as well.
Yeah. I think that'll be telling on the future of the company, depending on how that's allotted.
So, or if they're just like, we know our car's not running the best and we don't want to put Austin, you're older. We're going to let you handle the pressure of everything that's going on, getting the circumstances of this.
Yeah.
And then Jesse, it's your ride next year if you want it. Because I still think he'll have some offers from some other teams, but
Yeah.
and I think Daniel has, unless he just goes on a terrible skid in the second half of the season, I think he'll be at Spire. Obviously, Carson Hocevar is locked in Inspire. Michael McDowell seems like the weak link right now, and he is only on. This is his last year of his contract. So, despite him saying he's on a multi-year deal, all the sources say that he's not on a multi-year deal, and they don't know what he's talking about. So,
That's
I would
weird.
not be shocked if they just go full youth movement and bring in Jesse Love. And just Daniel can bring in, so he has sponsorship. He's good on that front. And you kick the can down the road another year on the 7. Or Daniel just keeps racing like how he's done the first year. And hey, if your third car is firmly in the chase, then you're doing good for Spire. If you're Spire. So I don't know. There's a lot of silly season rumors. That's why I was like, we should probably just wait.
Yeah,
Um,
protect the segment for that probably.
so, but Grant, anything else you want to talk about, or do you want to take us out?
Um, no, just hope everyone had a good Memorial Day, and hopefully we'll be back to
More.
posting at a decently normal schedule. It's been a
It's been
wonky
terrible, man.
few weeks. Yeah, we've both been out of pocket. So
So yeah. Um, well, that's Grant. I'm Cayden, and you've been watching the Tri Oval Office. I heard you wanted to make an executive order, Grant.
how am I doing this?
You gotta do it. You did it in the green room. It was funny.
This one's for one of our friends. We're gonna have to ban them Toyotas. See ya.